What's up, Raider Nation? Victor here, and today's video is one of those that split the fanbase right down the middle. Because what we're about to talk about could completely change the future of the Las Vegas Raiders. For better or for worse. Let me ask you something real quick. Do you go all in right now? Or do you stay patient and build this thing the right way? Because there are real rumors floating around the league that the Raiders could explore a blockbuster move for one of the most electrifying quarterbacks of this generation, a two-time MVP, a proven winner, a walking offensive system by himself. A player who, if he put on the silver and black tomorrow, would instantly make the Raiders more dangerous. No debate. But here's the flip side, and this is where it gets complicated. That kind of move would cost a ton. Massive contract, massive trade compensation, possibly the no one overall pick. And it would mean passing on a 22-year-old quarterback who could be your guy for the next decade. Is the short-term jump worth the long-term risk? At the same time, the Raiders still don't have a head coach, and that's not by accident. While the rest of the league has moved on, the Raiders are waiting for the right guy. Waiting for an offensive mind who just led a unit to 28.4 points per game, top 3 in scoring, unlocked the NFL's leading receiver, and is about to coach in the Super Bowl. A coach from the Kyle Shanahan coaching tree, with quarterback development written all over his resume. And here's where it all connects. If you trade for a superstar QB, you're in win now mode. If you stay patient, draft your quarterback, and hire the right offensive coach, you're building something sustainable. There is no easy answer, there is no safe choice. But whatever the Raiders decide in the next few weeks will define this franchise for years. So today, we're breaking it all down. The real pros and cons of making a blockbuster QB trade. Why the Raiders might be playing the long game at head coach. And whether patience for once might actually be the smartest move. And before we dive in, let me say this loud and clear. If you're a real Raiders fan, if you truly believe the silver and black are about to turn this thing around this year, then hit that like button and subscribe to Raiders Nation Update. This channel is for the believers, the ones who never folded. Alright, Raider Nation, let's talk about the biggest gamble this franchise might make. Raider Nation, we need to talk. There are real rumors out there right now saying the Las Vegas Raiders could trade for Lamar Jackson this offseason. Yeah. That Lamar Jackson, former MVP franchise quarterback, one of the most electric players this league has ever seen. But the question is, should the Raiders actually do it? Before we jump in, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and help us reach 1,500 true Raider fans. If you live and breathe silver and black, you already know the deal. Alright, let's break this down the right way. Pros, cons, and the real Raider perspective. Pros of trading for Lamar Jackson. 1. He's really good. Let's not overthink this. Lamar Jackson is a two-time NFL MVP. Guys like this do not become available. If Lamar Jackson puts on a Raiders jersey tomorrow, this team instantly becomes better, period. He's a proven winner. He's carried offenses. And he's done it on the biggest stages. You don't pass on elite quarterbacks lightly. 2. He becomes the entire offense. Lamar isn't just a quarterback, he is the offense. He forces defenses to change their entire game plan, wins with his arm and his legs, creates explosive plays out of nothing. Let's be honest, Raider Nation. He would be the best skill position player we've had in a long time. Defensive coordinators lose sleep over players like Lamar Jackson. 3. He's still in his prime. Lamar just turned 29 years old. That's prime quarterback age in today's NFL. Elite QBs playing at this level don't grow on trees. And if Lamar truly hits the trade market, half the league will be calling Baltimore. If the Raiders want immediate relevance, Lamar gives you that right now. Cons of trading for Lamar Jackson now. This is where reality hits. 1. The cost would be massive. This is the biggest issue. Lamar has 2 years left on a 5-year, $260 million contract, a recent cap number of $74 million. That's not a typo. Any team trading for Lamar would almost certainly need to give him a new deal, meaning massive cap commitment, less flexibility to build the rest of the roster, and then there's the trade compensation. Reports suggest the no one overall pick would be the starting point, not the final price. That likely means no. 1. Pick additional first-rounders, maybe players on top. That's a franchise-altering move. 2. Injury concerns are real. We can't ignore this. Lamar plays a physical style of football. Over the last 7 seasons, he's played a full regular season only once. He missed 4 games in 2025. As dynamic as he is, that wear and tear adds up. Committing elite money and elite assets to a 29-year-old quarterback with durability concerns is risky. No way around it. 3. Time vs. the future. Here's the part that hits hardest. Fernando Mendoza is 22 years old. If he hits, he could be the Raiders quarterback for the next 10 to 12 years. Lamar Jackson is a sure thing right now. Mendoza is a projection, but with long-term upside, so the question becomes, do you go all in on the present or build patiently for the future? This move would be emotional, it would be bold, and it would immediately put the Raiders back on the national stage. But the cost is enormous. The risk is real, and the long-term flexibility takes a massive hit. If the Raiders truly believe in Fernando Mendoza, the smarter move may be to keep the no-one pick and build this thing the right way. Lamar Jackson makes you better today. Mendoza could make you great for a decade, and that's the real debate. Now, Raider Nation, it's your turn. Would you trade the one pick for Lamar Jackson? Or do you ride with Fernando Mendoza and invest in the future? Drop your take in the comments. I want to hear every opinion. Raider Nation, let me ask you something. Have you noticed that almost every head coaching job is filled, and the Raiders are still waiting? No announcement, no press conference. No new head coach, and that's making a lot of fans nervous. But what if I told you this isn't hesitation? It's patience, and it might be the smartest move this franchise has made in years. Before we break it all down, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and help us reach 1,500 true Raider fans. If you believe in the future of the silver and black, you already know what to do. Alright, let's talk about why the Raiders appear to be waiting out Clint Kubak. Why the Raiders are still without a head coach right now. The Raiders are one of only 2 teams without a head coach, the other being the Arizona Cardinals. After firing Pete Carroll after just 1 season, GM John Spytek and minority owner Tom Brady have been methodical. Almost a month has passed, and the silence has been loud. But here's the key detail. The Raiders' top target is still playing football. Seattle Seahawks offensive coordinator Clint Kubak is headed to Super Bowl 60, and as long as that's the case, the Raiders cannot officially hire him. So the real question is Clint Kubak worth waiting for? Kubak's track record. Why the hype is real? Let's talk facts. Under Clint Kubak, the Seahawks offense has been elite. 3rd in the NFL in scoring, 28. 4 points per game, best Seattle offense since 2020. When Russell Wilson was playing at an MVP level, dominant in the playoffs. Nearly unstoppable with his play design and tempo, Seattle didn't just win games, they dictated games. That doesn't happen by accident. Player development is the biggest selling point, one of the biggest reasons the Raiders are intrigued by Kubak. What he's done with skill players. Jackson Smith-Njigba led the NFL in receiving yards, legitimate Offensive Player of the Year candidate, thrived in space. Motion and creative alignments now Raider Nation. Imagine that kind of system with Trey Tucker, Jack Beck, Brock Bowers, and a rookie QB like Fernando Mendoza. That's what excites this fan base. Kubak doesn't just call plays, he creates advantages. Offensive pedigree matters. Clint Kubak didn't fall into this. He's the son of Gary Kubak, a Super Bowl winning head coach. His brother Clay Kubak is the offensive coordinator for the 49ers. This is a football family. And here's an important connection Raider fans shouldn't overlook. John Spytek worked with Gary Kubak in Denver during their Super Bowl run. Spytek knows firsthand what that coaching tree is capable of. This isn't a gamble on potential, it's a calculated bet on a proven football lineage. Why waiting actually makes sense. Here's the reality. Most coaching cycles force teams to rush. The Raiders don't have to. They own the #1 overall pick. They're likely drafting Fernando Mendoza. They need an offensive-minded coach to develop a young QB. If that's your plan, then waiting a few extra weeks for the right guy is absolutely worth it. Kubak represents modern offense QB-friendly systems, long-term stability, and at this stage, the Raiders are running out of better options. Raider Nation, I get the anxiety. We've been burned before. We've seen rushed hires. We've seen short-term thinking, but this time feels different. If John Spytek and Tom Brady truly believe Clint Kubak is the guy, then patience isn't weakness, it's discipline. If Kubak becomes the next hotshot offensive mind who finally brings consistency, creativity, and identity back to this franchise, waiting a few weeks will feel like nothing. Now I want to hear from you. Is Clint Kubak worth waiting for? Or should the Raiders move on and hire someone else now? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read them all. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button, subscribe to Raiders Nation Update, and help us hit 1,500 real Raider fans. This is Victor. This is Raider Nation. And always remember, just win, baby.